Okay, go ahead. We're ready to go.
Sounds good. Good morning. We'll call the March 10th, 2022 ZBA hearing to order. Hopefully this is the last time I'll have to read this, but we'll get through the formalities. Pursuant to Section 7E of the Illinois Open Meetings Act, the current disaster declaration and written determination of the Zoning Board of Appeals chair, a public hearing may be held via audio and video conference without a physical quorum. It's been determined that in-person meeting is not practical or prudent at this time. Meetings being recorded and live streamed at lakecountyil.gov/watch ZBA to allow the public the ability to watch the meeting. In-person attendance was also made available at the Lake County Permit Facility 500 West Winchester Road in Libertyville. As a reminder to board members, if you're able to share your video, please ensure your camera is on when you're speaking and when voting. If you wish to speak, please raise your virtual hand. If you're calling in, please press *9 to raise your hand. After your name has been called to speak, allow for a short delay. With that, Brad, a roll call, please.
Member Hockney?
Here.
Member Peterson?
Here.
Member Reindl?
Here.
Member Roche?
Here.
Member Starkey is not present today. Member Steingold?
Present. Here.
And Chair Kaplan?
Here.
We have 6 present today.
Thank you. We do officially welcome Lawrence Steingold. At the end of the meeting, we'll have you just do a little intro of yourself, if that's okay. We'll get through the applicants, and then you can introduce yourself to the rest of the board members. But glad to have you with us. With that, the Pledge of Allegiance. Brad, if you got the flag behind you, we'll do that. Or Krista. Is our flag behind somebody?
We've got it up on Brad's screen.
Sounds good. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please note select items from the application as well as any additional evidence to be provided by the applicants or members of the public ahead of the hearing may be presented via screen share during the course of the hearing. Physical evidence germane to the topics on the agenda have been previously submitted. However, if there are additional items the petitioner or members of the public desire to submit for the record, please indicate by raising your virtual hand and staff will coordinate with you on how to share. Public's been invited to submit comments. Written comments that were received by 8 a.m. today will be read into the record for consideration in the order that they were received. Comments received during the hearing may be read in prior to the close of the hearing. Public in attendance that want to provide comment may do so by raising their virtual hand. Public in attendance, please keep your camera on when you're speaking as well. Questions or comments from the public will be heard after the presentation of evidence by the petitioner or their representative, and after members of the ZBA have had a chance to ask questions. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes. With that, we've got no other business. We will move to the second item on the agenda, which is ZBA case 738-2022. Turn it over to Tom for the staff presentation.
Applicants seeking a variation have the burden of proving to the Zoning Board of Appeals that the required standards of the UDO have been met, even if there are no objections to a variation. At the conclusion of today's case, the ZBA must make a finding of fact identifying its reasons for granting or denying the variance. The board may require the petitioner to meet certain conditions so that the use allowed by the variance will not have a negative impact on nearby properties. The applicant and the public will have an opportunity to make suggestions regarding appropriate conditions. ZBA case number VAR 000738-2022 is a variation request to increase the maximum allowed height of an accessory structure on a non-conforming lot from 20 feet to 25 feet. The applicant is Jonathan F. Busch, record owner. The property is 28401 West Maple Ave, Wakanda, Illinois. It is approximately 1.2 acres and is a non-conforming lot in the R1 zoning district. Legal notice for the case was published in the Daily Herald on February 22nd, 2022. Correspondence about the case has been received by the Lake County Divisions of Engineering, Building, and the Lake County Health Department. Jonathan Busch will present the application today. I'm happy to take any questions.
Sounds good. Thanks, Tom. Any questions from any of the board members? Hearing and seeing none, Mr. Busch, we will turn it over to you for your presentation on what you want to do.
Mr. Busch will be.
You know what, actually, I forgot, if anyone is online, if you are going to make any presentations or have any comments, I need to swear you in. So if you would raise your right hand. you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yep.
I do.
Great, sounds good. Mr. Busch, I will turn it over to you.
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. I'd like to build a garage so that I can work on my cars. I'd like to be able to put a lift in it. That's why I need the additional height, so I can work underneath the cars without crawling on the floor.
Sounds good. We'll take that as testimony, and then if they have some questions, just stick around there. We'll start with Member Hockney. Any questions of the petitioner?
I just want to understand, you want to raise it how much?
Uh,
5 feet?
5 feet above what's allowable without the variance.
That's because of a floodplain?
No, I want to raise it so that it's usable.
But you had to move the garage because of the flood.
Right, the
Yeah.
garage is being slightly relocated and raised up because of the floodplain.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Thanks, Danny. Member Peterson.
I have no questions. I think you definitely need to move that garage from that flood area.
Thanks, Maria. Member Steingold.
No questions.
Sounds good. Member Rydell. Can you hear us, John?
Nope,
He's on mute.
There you
Okay.
How's that?
There you go. We can hear you. Any questions, John?
Yes, just one. The construction of the garage in the floodplain, what steps did you go through to get that?
we've had a certified wetland specialist come out and look at it. The Army Corps of Engineers has come out and looked at it and supplied a letter of no contest or something to that effect. So I think I've done all the steps that were required.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Thanks. You're welcome. Member Roche.
No questions.
Sounds good. And I do not have any questions. Either packet contained the information I needed. With that, we'll go around before we close testimony just to see how you're feeling. Member Hockney.
I'm fine with it.
Sounds good. Member Peterson.
Good with it?
Good. Member Steingold.
I'm good with it.
Member Rindle.
I don't have any problem with it.
Great. Thanks, John. And Member Roche.
Good.
Perfect. No problems here either. With that, Mr. Busch, any other comments before we close testimony?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, stick tight. We'll have a vote in just a second. With that, a motion would be in order then to close testimony on CBA case 738-2022.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Member Peterson, the first, member Hockney with the second. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, roll call, please.
Member Peterson,
Aye.
member Hockney,
Aye.
member Rindle,
Aye.
member Roche,
Aye.
member Steingold,
Aye.
Chair Kaplan.
Aye.
Testimony is closed.
Sounds good. With that, a motion would be in order for ZBA case 738-2022.
I'll make a motion. Motion to approve ZBA variance application 738-2022 as the facts presented meet the standards to approve the variance, so long as the structure be consistent with the site plan accompanying this application.
Sounds good. Thank you, Member Peterson. Is there a second?
I'd be happy to second it.
Second from Member Rindle. Thanks, John. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, roll call, Brad.
Member Peterson,
Aye.
member Rindle,
Aye.
member Hockney,
Aye.
member Hockney,
Aye.
member Roche,
Aye.
member Steingold,
Aye.
Chair Kaplan.
Aye.
The variation passes 6-0.
Sounds good, Mr. Busch. Congratulations. Good luck. Continue to work with staff and hope it all works out for you.
All right, great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Take care. With that, we will take a 5-minute break. Let staff coordinate. Let's be back here at, let's say 9:25 to give them a couple extra minutes to get that other one on. So on break till 9:25. Hey, Brad, you there? Or Krista? Hey, Brad.
Hi, yep, Tom's got next. Yes.
Which one are we going to do next? We're going to do
84.
84, perfect.
Yeah, we're still working with, well, we're still working to get 684, Mr. Zydlo on the, to get him logged in, but we do have 740, actually, hold on.
Okay, then 740 will be next.
Okay, we do have Mr. Zydlo on the phone. So it's up to you which one you want to do.
Let's go with 84, then we'll get that one out of the way.
Okay, let me bring him in.
Perfect. Give us a second here. We'll be back on in a minute for everybody else.
Hello.
Mr.
Hey,
Zydlo,
Bob.
can you hear us?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, Greg.
Sounds good. I got 9:25. We will reconvene this hearing today. We will be ZBA case 684-2021. Turn it over to staff for the presentation.
Thank you very much. Applicants seeking a variation have the burden of proving to the zoning board of appeals that the required standards of the UDO have been met, even if there are no objections to a variation. At the conclusion of today's case, the ZBA must make a finding of fact identifying its reasons for granting or denying the variation. The board may require the petitioner to meet certain conditions so that the use allowed by a variation will not have the negative impact on nearby properties. The applicant and public will have the opportunity to make suggestions regarding appropriate conditions. This is ZBA case 000684-2021. Is a variation request to reduce the north street side setback from 15 feet to 11 feet to accommodate the construction of a pool. The applicant is Robert T. Zydlo, record owner. The property address is 35495 North Indian Lane, Ingleside, Illinois. It is approximately 0.31 acres and is a non-conforming lot in the R3 zoning district. The legal notice for the case was published in the Daily Herald on February 22nd, 2022. Correspondence about the case has been received from the Lake County Divisions of Engineering, Building, Public Works, and Health Department. Bob Zydlo will present the application today, and I'll take any questions if you have any.
Sounds good. Thanks, Eric. Any questions of staff from any of the board members?
Hello?
Hearing and seeing. Yep, Mr. Zydlo, can you hear us okay?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm going to turn it over to you to make your presentation on what you want to do. As you know, staff is recommending denial of this due to standard number 2. So in your presentation, if you could address that, but I will turn it over to you to make your presentation.
Okay. The bottom line is, I thought that 11 feet was plenty of room to have away from the fence. And then found out it was 15. I installed the pool without a permit. I was in a rush. I didn't get the permit. I made a mistake. I'm trying to make it right, but I can't move the pool 4 feet over because I poured concrete. So that's the whole situation. I can't move it because of the concrete, or else I would move it over and be in with the ordinance that it has to be 15. It's 11. So when I went and applied for the permit, I found out that it needs to be 15 feet. So.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll turn it over to the board members and they may have some questions.
You know,
Go ahead.
I made a mistake. I'm trying to make it right. You know, that's the real deal. That's the bottom line. What happened?
Sure. Appreciate you letting us know. Member Roche, we'll turn it over to you for questioning first.
I guess so. Now, one of the questions I have is, based on the pictures that were emailed to us this morning.
Yes.
Is so now the street floods more than it used to because of the pool? Is that what they're saying?
No, there's no flooding at all in the street about the pool. Nothing to do with that.
For the record, the email I think Member Roche is referring to is from one of the neighbors that expressed concerns and sent some pictures as of yesterday. They're 26062 West Blackhawk Avenue in Ingleside. So we received that last night.
Oh, I have no idea about that. It's not true at all. The pool's way up in the yard. The road has always flooded. There's no drainage on the side of the road. And my lot goes right into Squaw Creek. So whoever said that, I have no idea. There's no drainage on Black Hawk in the trench. There's no trench drains. There's no nothing.
It's
And
certainly
water-
very tight in there.
Water always gathers on the road. I don't know why that
Member-
would have anything. Cool.
Member Roche, any other questions?
No, not right now.
Sounds good. Member Rindle.
Yes, has your township highway commissioner had any comments on this as far as flooding on the road? And if so, is there any suggestion made to correct it?
The township, Kim Keeskin, no, but never's been nothing said about putting in any kind of drainage.
The only reason I ask it, you're claiming there is no flooding off of the road, and yet the neighbor is saying it's a problem. So I think our first objective is to reach any problems and find out if there's a solution to them.
Yeah, I don't understand how anybody could say there's any kind of flooding because of the pool. The road is a dead end into the creek. There's no drainage here. The snow just melted. There's water on the road from no drainage. I mean, that's always been that way.
So what you're saying is the impervious surface that you've created by building this pool has not affected the drainage at all from
No, absolutely not. Oh,
Did it drain properly before you put the or was no drainage problem even before you?
there's been a drainage problem here I've been here 40 years. There's been a drainage problem on this road forever. There's no drainage. It's just pitched on my property, pitched down from my fence down to the road. And the pool is actually probably 20 feet from the road. It's 11 feet from the fence, and then you have the side of the property that goes to the road, which is 10 feet wide.
Just to play the other card, if there were to be a problem with flooding, would it be possible for you to install a French drain around the front end of the property, the one that's contiguous to the road?
Refresh my memory, what exactly is a French drain?
Well, it's just a drainage system that would direct the water, if any is collected, down to a more suitable spot.
Sure, I guess it would be possible, but like I said, again, that's the township's issue with the drainage on the side of the road. And like I said, we go right into Squaw Creek. They have one drain in the creek that comes out to the fence. I'm right at a boat lift, which lifts up boats to go into Fox Lake from Long Lake.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, anything's possible, but I don't know where are you saying you would install it?
between the pool and the road. You didn't mention anything about you didn't mention anything about drainage ditches alongside the road. That's the reason for the curtain drain.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I guess that would be possible, sure. So that would be on my side of the property and it would be a drain?
Correct. That's all I have for now, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thanks, John. Member Steingel.
Just a couple of quick questions. The public notification, is that sign up or is it next to your mailbox on the ground covered with snow?
Yeah, those signs went down after the storm.
Okay.
The kid who installed them did not put them into the ground properly. The storm came, it knocked the signs down.
Okay. How far is the pool from the river or the waterway?
I gotta say, my lot's 280. It's probably at least 100, 150.
Okay. And then looking from the edge of the cement to the road, how many feet is there?
From the edge of cement, which cement are you referring to?
To the northern part of the pool. Never mind. I see it already. Never mind. That's all I have. Thank you. That's it.
Sounds good. Thanks, Lawrence. Member Peterson.
I don't know. I'm reading here that Engineering and Environmental Services Division had no objection. However, they did make a comment to making sure that the permit required that the proposed pool, that the stormwater and floodplain requirements of the ordinance be met. I think, based on a case we just recently held a week or two ago, that the proper channels were not, the proper process wasn't made. And whether you've flooded or you've been flooding for the 40 years that you've been there, I think that the cement and then the pool may be creating some issues, and maybe you may consider continuing your case to see how you can mitigate this situation. That's all I have.
Thanks, Member Peterson. Member Hockney.
Yeah, in your testimony, you mentioned pouring the concrete. Was that the concrete patio? Was that there before the pool, or was that poured after the pool, or simultaneously?
Simultaneously.
So it was all part of this, all part of a single plan to do that. Correct?
Yeah.
So it wasn't. It could have been done otherwise.
Yes, if I would have known
it didn't have to be poured there. That was your decision to pour it there at the same time you built the pool.
Yeah, I put the pool in, then I poured the concrete, correct.
Yeah. I have some concerns too about the water and whether the impervious surface, the concrete patio as well as the pool is causing that. So I'd be interested in knowing more about the whole water runoff situation. I don't know if that's environmental service, who or engineering, who has to do that, but I'd like more information.
Greg, just to interject, we do have engineering staff on hand this morning. If there's any questions that we could potentially call on them. Also, if there's any exhibits like aerials or anything that you'd like, or any of the ZB members would like me to pull up, we can do that too.
I'd be interested in having a comment on the runoff.
Joel or Andrew?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. This is Joel Kraus. Yeah, this one is interesting. First off, I would actually agree to maybe see, my recommendation would be to look at this further. In terms of just the variance in and of itself, I put in the review that we wouldn't have any objection, but a full permit would need to be obtained to ensure that overland runoff was not encroaching onto any neighboring properties. I'm not 100% sure why I or Andrew were not tasked. This was tasked by Liz, our site development tech, and she approved the pool permit from a site development perspective. However, there were other divisions that had comments. So I want to talk to Liz, follow up with her. I'm not sure. I don't even see an actual site permit that's been opened. So I'm going to look into this, but absolutely it would need to be ensured that that concrete patio that looks pretty substantial around the perimeter of the pool does not push any runoff now that's on site onto those adjacent properties. So a trench drain, a swale, storm sewer would definitely probably be required in this case. So my recommendation at this point, unfortunately, is I did not review the engineering site plan on this in terms of the permit stage, but I will follow up with Liz and our internal staff to make sure there's no issues. So my recommendation would be to kind of, if we can revisit this in the future, possibly. So unfortunately, I honestly, I just don't have the best answer right now, except that I know if I was reviewing it, it would need to have some type of measures to show that the runoff is being portrayed, to the east, to the creek, not to the roadway. Absolutely.
Sounds good. Thanks, Joel. Member Hockney, any other questions of Joel while we've got him here?
It just seems to me if the process would have been followed, we could have, this all could have been avoided as far as whether it's a runoff, whether it's a set, all of it could have been avoided.
Yeah, and honestly, I apologize on our behalf. I don't know what happened. I mean, it was an after the fact. It sounds like it was an after the fact permit, but
Correct.
still, I don't know why a site permit wasn't opened. I just can't answer that right now, but I'm sorry, Krista, were you going to say?
I'm saying the applicant could have followed the procedure. We might have avoided all of this.
Oh, yes, absolutely. If it wasn't an after the fact permit.
So it's my understanding that we typically, we haven't advanced him to the site development permit stage because the variance would be required to keep the pool where it was constructed.
Okay, that's why
Right.
then.
So what happens is, this is, like you said, after the fact. The inspectors out on site saw the pool out there, told him that he needed to come in and apply for a pool permit. At that point, the process was stopped because the variance was required. However, the pool and the concrete was already there. So, from our end of things, we won't push forward with the building and site development permit unless the variation is approved.
Okay.
Sounds good. Any other questions?
I'm fine. I'm fine with that so far. With the answers.
Thanks. I am too. I had the same concerns over that patio and the amount of impervious surface then that was laid down there. Since this was done without a permit and we're kind of out of order, as Chris explains, the typical order would be, I guess this isn't quite your typical case because we're kind of going backwards now and saying, what can we do? I guess I would ask staff if there was a way to postpone this, have them take a look at this since it's already been there, see what other remedies or modifications could be made at this time in order to not have the applicant have to remove the pool and the concrete, and see if we can work with them to see if there's anything else that would help with some of the drainage issues down there. Staff, does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
then we would do
Yes.
the continuation for is that April 8th then?
Well, it would be April 7th, but I'm not sure that would be enough time to work out the details that would need to be worked out. So, I mean, obviously,
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a question.
Yep, go ahead, Mr. Zydlo.
My original permit for my addition, which Jody inspector came out and signed off on everything, but he couldn't put it through because they said, because now the pool's involved. So I have till April 15th. My original permit that I asked for an extension for, was trying to hopefully get this all straightened out, ends on April 15th. So what's going to happen April 15th? Am I going to get red tagged?
well, Can Bob answer that question?
Bob Springer.
Yes, I can answer that. Any applicant that has a permit that is about to expire can, in writing, request an extension. They have to give me. Let me finish, please.
Okay.
They can request an extension in writing, giving me the reason why they need the extension, telling me when the work will be completed, or in this case, the violation will be resolved. I don't know if Mr. Zydlo can answer that question, but I don't recall seeing an extension request on that property. I'll check into it while this meeting is going on.
Yeah, I have the letter.
You have a letter for the extension until April 15th?
Right.
So we already extended your permit, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, well, if you request another extension, I have the availability to me to grant that request. And since there is an extenuating circumstance, we probably would for only the amount of time we think it would take to resolve this.
Okay, so when you guys come up with a resolution to this, what I need to do, then I'll be able to know, right? How long it's going to take me and what I have to do if I got to put in a drain or whatever.
Other than the you guys part, I think it's going to be on you to come up with a resolution.
Right, okay. I would agree. I think that'd be,
is somebody going to give me direction on engineering on what exactly kind of drain to put in?
Staff will explain the process.
Joel. Me too. Okay.
What kind of, because you're going to have to explain to them what you're going to need to see on the grading plan that you're going to be requesting.
Yes. So, sir, when you, I guess, officially apply for the site development permit, we're going to need to see an engineered site grading plan. So it's going to need to be prepared, signed and sealed by a licensed Illinois professional engineer. We're going to need to see pre-construction contours, topography, and then post-construction, after the fact contours. We're going to need to see the pool dimensions, all the setbacks, like I said, all the spot elevations. And then with that, we would want to have your engineer design some type of system to ensure that the on-site runoff is kept on site and directed to the creek to the east, not to, sheet flowing to the north to the roadway to impact other properties. So, I did a
new survey with all that on it.
Okay. And like I said, we're going to have to kind of probably look internally, but as Eric Took and Krista mentioned, you haven't officially applied for the site development permit yet. So, but with that, like I said, the county, we don't dictate how you're going to do something. We don't design it for you. Your engineer, your professional, he's going to have to kind of look at it. We can give recommendations. We'll be happy to do that, but your engineer basically has to take ownership of it and portray to us that you're not impacting properties adversely.
Right. All I would ask is that I would appreciate to know exactly what I need to do to get it passed correctly.
Yeah,
I'm willing, whatever I have to do to, coordinate or whatever in your response to the drainage. I got no problem doing whatever I got to do.
Okay. So yeah, it sounds like I can let Eric Took or Krista or other staff talk, but once you apply for the permit, we'll review it. And that's where if your engineer, your designer has any questions, they can contact me directly. But we just don't design it for you. Your professional is you're paying him to do that for you. So, but that's typically how the process works. You're going to need to get an engineer on board. So.
And yeah, just to clarify, you would have, this is just, again, moving things ahead a little bit because you would have been required to get the site development permit anyway. So you'll have to, you'll be moving forward with that part of the project sooner before you get the variance approved. So, and then just to clarify, the drawing that you submitted with your application, it was a plat of survey, but it did not contain the topographic information I believe that Joel would be looking for. So just to clarify that.
And Mr.
Yeah.
Zydlo,
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Just to clarify further, then you'll go through the site plan development permitting. It still has to come back. So once you go through that, it's not a guarantee that this board will go ahead and grant that variance. It will come back to us at probably a review date. I'm going to say we want to push it out to at least May, because I don't know unless you think you can have it done by the 7th, but I don't think that gives staff enough time to do that either. So I'm going to suggest that
Well,
this
no,
case,
because- Yeah. I
this
would-
case,
I would need ample time, that's for sure.
So
sure.
your next review dates would be May 5th or June 2nd?
June 2nd sounds good.
Okay. If it's okay with the rest of the board, anybody, other board members
I
have any
agree, Greg.
discussion?
I think it has to be clear that we've not
Yep.
granted a variance on this deal. That still has to come back.
Continuing it.
Correct. We're going backwards kind of in the process here since it was built. Now we're going back to site plan review development, and then we'll come back here for the review, and hopefully that'll give us some answers that we have, answer some of the questions that were raised by your neighbors. In the meantime, I would say continue to work with staff. They'll direct you and let you know what your engineer needs to do. If there's
Yeah,
any,
I'll talk with Eric.
yep, that sounds good. Any other questions of any of the board members? If not, I would look for a motion then to continue this case till 9 a.m. June 2nd. If there's someone to make that motion.
So moved.
First member Peterson, is there a second?
Second.
Second from member Roche. Any discussion? Brad, a roll call, please.
And Mr. Chairman, that meeting would be in person here at the Central Permit Facility, 9 o'clock on June 2nd.
Correct.
Member Peterson,
Hi.
Member Roche,
Aye.
Member Hockney, Member Rindle,
Aye.
Member Steingold,
Aye.
Chair Kaplan.
Aye.
Meeting is continued to June 2nd, 9 a.m. Central Permit Facility, Libertyville.
Sounds good. Mr. Zydlo, continue to work with staff. We'll see you back here in June. If you do need another extension, you certainly can ask. If you're not ready by June, let staff know. They can continue that extension into July if it's needed, or August as well.
Thank you.
Sounds good. With that, we'll take a 5-minute break. 9:55, we'll come back. We'll come back in 1 minute. Just a 1 minute heads up. Crystal, you all set on staff side?
Yes, we are ready to go whenever you are.
Sounds good. We will call the hearing back to order. Next case will be ZBA case 740-2022. Turn over to staff for the presentation.
DBA case 00740-2022 is a variance request to reduce the side street setback from 15 feet to 7 feet to allow for the reconstruction of a garage. The applicant is Billie Sue Braun, recorded owner. The property is 24882 West Rollins Road, Round Lake, Illinois. It is approximately 0.2 acres and is a non-conforming lot in the R3 zoning district. The legal notice for the case was published in the Daily Herald on February 22nd, 2022. Correspondence about the case has been received from the Lake County Divisions of Engineering and Building and the Health Department and Public Works Department. Billie Sue Braun will present the application today. I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions of staff? Hearing and seeing none, we'll turn it over to the applicant for presentation.
Hi, our garage burnt down and we're just looking to rebuild right where it was. It turns out that it's been there since the beginning of time, and you guys have made this new not law, I don't know what you call it. I'm not good at this stuff, but the lots are small and narrow. And if we put it set back as far as you want, we wouldn't be able to see our yard. We wouldn't be able to use as much as the yard. And the way it was, it's in harmony with the purpose and the intent of your zoning.
Sounds good. Is that your presentation?
Yeah, I sent
Perfect.
pictures. I don't know if you see those.
Yes, we did. And we did all go out and visit the site too. So sorry to hear that you had the fire, but glad you're able to move forward with it. No one was injured.
Yes.
We'll have the board ask questions, and so just stick with us and we'll hopefully get to a vote today for you. We'll start with member Hockney.
I have no question, just a comment. Maybe I was born at the beginning of time giving your testimony.
It's been a while.
Member Peterson.
No questions.
Sounds good. Thanks. Member Steingold.
No questions.
Thanks. Member Reindl.
It appears as though the county has to share some responsibility in this. But I have no problem with it currently. She's only trying to make something better that's been, at the county's request, spoiled by changing the zoning ordinances to meet the county's problem rather than hers. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thanks, John. And Member Roche.
No questions.
Sounds good. I do not have any questions either based on the application. With that, Ms. Braun, do you have anything else you'd like to add before we see how everybody's feeling in closed testimony?
Nothing I can think of.
Okay, sounds good. Just stick tight with us for a minute. We'll go around. Member Hockney, how you feeling?
I'm good. It's the same place. No problem.
Good. Member Peterson?
I'm fine with it.
Thanks. Member Steingold?
Looks good.
Great. Member Reindl?
Okay.
Thanks, John. And Member Roche?
I'm fine.
Okay, all good here too as well. With that, motion would be in order then to close testimony on this case.
So moved.
First by member Peterson, second by member Hockney. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, a roll call, Brad.
Member Peterson,
Aye.
member Hockney,
Aye.
member Rindle,
Aye.
member Roche,
Aye.
member Steingold,
Aye.
and Chair Captain.
Aye.
Yes, meeting closed.
Sounds good. With that, a motion would be in order on this case.
I'll make the motion to approve ZBA variance application 740-2022 as the facts presented meet the standards to approve the variance, so long as the structure be consistent with the site plan accompanying this application.
Great, thank you.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second from member Hockney. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Member Peterson,
Aye.
member Hockney,
Aye.
member Rindle,
Aye.
member Roche,
Aye.
member Steingold,
Aye.
and Chair Captain.
Aye.
It's passed 6-0.
Sound good. Ms. Braun, you are all set. Continue to work with staff. Wish you good luck. And again, apologize for sorry to hear about your loss.
Yes, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye now. With that, concludes our cases for today with the one continuance. Staff, any comments before I turn it over to Lawrence to kind of introduce himself?
Nothing from staff.
Perfect. Nothing from staff. We've got a busy month. You do have the agenda before you. Thanks to staff. It's been a lot of coordinating back and forth. Appreciate everybody's flexibility on coming back to Zoom today instead of going to Waukegan. We just thought it would be easier than having everybody drive there and hike up to the 10th floor. So I appreciate staff working on that. This should be our last Zoom hearing. We are scheduled to go back in person. I did check with the county board chair and they're on board with that as well, as they had their first meeting in person this week as well. So we will be back in person for the rest and hopefully for the long-term future. We'll continue to do that. Just a reminder, the March 29th that was on your agenda, that's a minor variation. So that's not required. Any of the other board members, I'll just be hearing that case on my own. So no need to put that on your calendar. I just have to hear that day. So it will not be an all-person meeting. And I think other than that, I don't have any other updates, but Lawrence, I'll turn it over to you just to introduce yourself. We'll probably do introductions once we get in person again too, so you can kind of see us in person, and we'll have member Starkey with us, but just give us a little background and we welcome you to the board too.
I think John raised his hand, get a question. I'm sorry.
Member Rindle, do you have a question? He may just be waving to us.
Probably knowledge about sports. Do you favor any sport in particular, your politics, so on and so forth?
Okay. So my name is Lawrence Steingold. I'm a patent attorney. I went first to graduate school for chemistry. I was a nuclear chemist for a couple of years, then went to law school. I've been practicing for about 20 years, give or take. I live in Buffalo Grove, have 3 children, one at Stevenson, the other 2 are a little bit younger. I was on the zoning board in Buffalo Grove for a number of years, so I'm familiar with how the process works. As for sports, believe it or not, I am a high school varsity referee for soccer. That makes me feel any better. My political point of view, I don't know. I don't have any. I really don't. As a lawyer, I really don't. Any other questions? That's about it. Nothing special. Just do my thing and work hard. I have a firm with another partner. We're opening up in Northbrook, and we do patents, trademarks, litigation, and one of my clients does a lot of construction in malls. So I deal with GGP, Simon. I do a lot with construction and build outs of mall locations, strip mall, other malls, but wide variety of work I do.
Awesome. Well, we welcome you and look forward to working with you too. As I said, we'll have a full board. Hopefully our next meeting, we'll go around and have everybody introduce themselves too, so you can get a face with a name and all that good stuff at our next meeting. But we just want to welcome you officially and look forward to working with you, and glad you were able to join our board too.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. With that, any other comments or questions from any board members? Hearing and seeing none, a motion would be in order then to adjourn.
So
So
moved.
move.
With that, we are adjourned. Everyone have a great day. Stay warm for the next couple days, and then we got a heat wave coming. So